set for tonight's Bellator World Welterweight title bout. 2008 U.S. Olympian Ben Askren versus the Bellator 170-pound world champion Lyman Good.
Lyman Good solved the riddle of Ben Askren's takedown. That's been the issue throughout his career. Ben Askren has wrestled his way to this spot tonight.
And now the first fighter set and ready to make his way to the cage fighting. Out of the red corner, this is Ben Askren.
Often in MMA, the term world class is used recklessly, but in Ben Askren's case, his elite pedigree defines his grappling style. Widely regarded as one of the most talented wrestlers ever to transition to MMA, Askren was a four-time All-American and two-time Division I champion during college. He went on to proudly represent the United States in the 2008 Olympic Games.
Wrestling, it was a passion. It wasn't something I did 4 days a week. It wasn't something I did during the winter. It was something that, from the time I was 15 to the time I made the Olympic team, it was year-round, almost every day. I mean, there were a lot of years where I probably didn't take more than a handful of days off.
Born with an insatiable desire to compete and an immeasurable level of confidence, Askren's crossover to mixed martial arts in early 2009 was an easy one. Nicknamed Funky, due to his unorthodox wrestling prowess, his ground skills dominated opponents from his very first fight.
Just like I've climbed to the top of the wrestling world, I can climb to the top of the mixed martial arts world with the same work ethic and smarts that I put into wrestling.
With little formal training, a relatively untested Askren entered the Bellator Season 2 welterweight tournament with much to prove. Following a series of tournament victories, the former Olympian silenced critics with the demolition of tournament favorite Dan Hornbuckle to become the Season 2 champion, establishing himself as one of MMA's top young stars.
In the fight with Hornbuckle, I didn't have anything to prove to myself. I knew what I could go out there and do. I just had to prove it to other people. And when they saw what, when I was done with 15 minutes, they saw what I could do.
Tonight, Askren will once again face an opponent some might call more well-rounded. Bellator World Welterweight Champion Lyman Good, the undefeated and confident Askren, has a message for the current world champion.
Lyman, keep my belt warm, shine it once a week, and enjoy it while you got it, because it's mine, baby.
Ben Askren was a four-time finalist in NCAA Division I wrestling at the University of Missouri, finishing as runner-up his freshman and sophomore years and as champion his junior and senior years.
And now the champion ready to make his way to the cage fighting. Out of the blue corner, this is Lyman Cyborg Good.
I was basically born into, an area where we were being spoon-fed a lot of, opportunities to be able to go down a path of drugs, violence, gangs.
Growing up in Spanish Harlem, New York, Lyman Good was admittedly very close to heading down the wrong path. But his mother's decision to get him involved in martial arts was a choice that saved his life.
You either make or break, you either want to be a part of that and then you just kind of give in and become, or you refuse and you fight and you resist and you don't become part of that.
Good would not fall victim to his surroundings. He focused all of his energy and raw athletic ability on fighting professionally. Respected for his impressive kickboxing background, Good established himself as a complete mixed martial artist when he entered Bellator's very first welterweight tournament with an unblemished record of 7-0. Completely dominating the tournament, Good finished all three of his opponents on the canvas to become the Bellator welterweight world champion.
All the talk is not hype. It's the real deal. I'm out there ready to just fight, compete, and do my best.
Lyman Good, an undefeated mixed martial artist, something the challenger to his throne knows all about. Ben Askren, 2008 United States Olympic wrestler, is also undefeated in the sport.
As far as him, all his trash talking, I hope it's worth something. I hope he's really been training.
While only one will leave with their first professional defeat, the other will prove himself as the undisputed world champion.
There's no way he's going to walk out of there a champion. I look at him, there's no champion material in him.
Lyman Good defeated Omar De La Cruz by first-round TKO on June 12th of last year to become Bellator's inaugural World Welterweight Champion. This past December, Good suffered an injury to his left shoulder during training and has thus not fought in 16 months. Jimmy, let's take a look at your inner circle.
Well, Good must fear the Warren effect. In championship fights this season, two world-class wrestlers with questionable finishing skills had the best fights of their careers. Can Askren do the same tonight? Can Good overcome the ring rust? He had a fantastic run at the end of season 1, but injuries have kept him on the shelf since. Will his timing be where it needs to be to defeat Askren? Big question, will we see Askren stand up tonight? His wrestling and grappling have looked great, but in a 25-minute fight, will Good find a way to force Askren to use his other skills?
Bellator Fighting Championships along with FullTiltPoker.net. Learn, chat, and play with the pros and Everlast. What do you fight for? Tonight at Bellator 33 from the Leocura Center in Philadelphia. Now present 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator World Welterweight Championship. And now introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He wears the black and gold at 5'11", weighing in at 170 pounds. The two-time NCAA champion and 2008 Olympic wrestler, as a mixed martial artist stands undefeated at 6-0, with 1 victory by knockout, 3 by way of submission. Representing the Den, the Bellator Season 2 welterweight tournament champion from Phoenix, Arizona, introducing the challenger, Askren. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the black at 6 foot even, weighing in at 170 pounds. After a dominant run through Bellator's Season 1 tournament, the freestyle fighter and powerful striker also enters the cage tonight undefeated with 10 victories, 5 by knockout, 1 by way of submission. Representing Tiger Showmans and fighting out of Manhattan, New York, presenting the defending Bellator World Welterweight Champion, Lyman Cyborg Good. And the referee for this contest, Kevin Mulhall.
Okay, you've both been given your rules on a good, clean, safe fight. Do you have any questions? Any questions? No rings, come out fighting.
This fight is under the unified rules of combat. As it is for the Bellator 170-pound world title, it is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are allowed, both standing and on the ground, and there is no kicking or kneeing the head of a grounded opponent. There you see Amy Askren nervously awaiting the start of her husband's bout. Ben Askren is in the black trunks with the gold trim. Lyman Good, the champion, is in the black trunks. The bell in round number 1. Kevin Mulhall is the referee. The shoot, the drive by Askren. Does not get the takedown, and now he does.
You know, for a freestyle wrestler, he has an incredible clinch, almost Greco-Roman. When he gets around you, he gets the takedown 9 times out of 10. This is not where Lyman Good wants to be.
Lyman Good telling us, Jimmy, in our fighter meeting that he has been working extensively on throwing punches from this position flat on his back.
He can work on it all he wants. Punches from his back are not going to be as effective as the ground and pound from Askren. It might open something up and give him a chance to move. That would be nice. Askren's jiu-jitsu is just like his wrestling. Funky, unorthodox. He doesn't do what you would expect.
Askren holds the rank of purple belt in BJJ. Again, a 2-time NCAA Division I wrestling champion while at the University of Missouri, and a 2008 U.S. Olympian in freestyle wrestling.
And I've seen Askren in a few submission tournaments. This is what he likes to do. He sits back, puts his arm back. That's how he likes to pass. He has great posture.
Lyman Good looking for the up kick.
Looking for the pass, trying to get underneath both legs. Lyman Good has to stay mobile from here. He cannot let him pass.
Askren just so tenacious while on top.
He just moves so well. He's so fluid. That's what's really surprising about his style. He doesn't sit on you like a lot of jiu-jitsu guys do with that really tight side mount, really tight mount. He moves a lot.
You see how often, Jimmy, just like there, Askren puts the head forward into the body.
Yeah, and he keeps his hips high. He does a lot of things a jiu-jitsu guy doesn't do. It hurts him in some instances, but when he's moving, it's a big help.
And Askren staying very tight, very sticky, chest to chest from the top position. Half guard held by Lyman, good. Now the full close guard by Good.
You hear this crowd cheering, "Let's go Lyman." They are way behind him.
Good, definitely trying to throw punches from flat on his back.
Yeah, he is, but it's not going to win him the round. If he's on his back like this, it's hard to believe. Half the round is gone now, and he's been on his back virtually the entire time. He gets his guard back, and the crowd goes nuts. That's nice, but it's not going to win it in the eyes of the judges.
Good, nearly back to his feet. Askren too quick.
Now Askren's good job getting on top. Askren going for the armbar from the bottom. Good has to be careful here. We'll have to see what Askren can do from his back. But what you're not supposed to do is cross your feet, which is exactly what he's doing, but he still might be able to finish it. And he doesn't.
Big ovation here in Philadelphia for the New York fighter, Lyman Good.
Askren just looked at the screen to check the time. He's got a cut. Looks like it's under his left eye. Can't really see it from here.
Sprawl from Good. Askren going for the double leg, didn't get it.
And that's what Askren is so good at. He goes in for the double leg, you stop it, he goes for the body clinch. He doesn't just stop his takedown, he keeps going.
Full mount now achieved by Ben Askren.
Good, trying to power his way out.
Askren losing full mount into the half guard of Lyman Good.
You know, what's strange about Ben Askren, you see wrestlers like Matt Hughes in his prime, they throw a right hand and ride that into a double leg. Askren doesn't even do that. He comes right in for the double leg. If you stop it, he body locks and still takes you down. He doesn't set it up with anything. You know, a lot of wrestlers in MMA, we've interviewed them, they're always trying to sell you on what else they can do. I've been working on my boxing, I've been working on my jiu-jitsu, I've been doing this and that. I'm going to knock this guy out. Askren doesn't do that. He goes, I'm going to take him down until he can stop me.
June 17th of this year, the final of Bellator's Season 2 welterweight tournament. Askren defeating Dan Hornbuckle by unanimous decision. Jimmy, to your point, Askren said, I'm going to go for the takedown immediately, and he did. In this fight, Askren said, I'm going for the takedown immediately.
And he
got
did.
it.
And he gets it. You know what he's going to do, and he still takes you down.
Good looking for the sweep. Askren back in full mount and sitting chest
Askren going
to
for the arm triangle. Going hard for that arm triangle. He has the full mount. Can't see how deep it is from here, but it looks good. Good, able to get on top.
Good, very strong and very technical.
Only 10 seconds left. I don't think he's going to be able to use this position.
Scheduled for 5 rounds, and we are headed to round number 2. It's tough to watch your husband fight. Perhaps it's even tougher to watch your son fight. Soria Good, the mother of the Bellator 170-pound world champion Lyman Good, looking to defend his title for the first time versus the 2008 U.S. Freestyle Wrestling Olympian Ben Askren. Askren is in the black trunks with the gold trim. Good in the black trunks. Jimmy, how do you have this scored?
10-9. Ben Askren spent most of that round on top. Looked like he might get a sub at the end, but Askren Good able to get out of that position. It's got to be frustrating for Lyman Good. You've been training for, oh, there you go, to stop the takedown, and you just can't do it.
Good landed a knee, then a punch. Askren immediately to the double leg. Good again, working those strikes from the bottom. But that's almost plan B, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Good again, looking for the up kick.
But you see the weaknesses in round 1 in Askren's style. When he gets a good position like mount, going for the submission, he's not great at holding it. He's actually better, I think, when he's moving, when he's transitioning. That's how he beat Dan Hornbuckle, was always moving around. He doesn't hold position like a judo black belt, brown belt, but he's so good when he's moving, when he's active.
Side control held by Askren. Again, this for Bellator's world welterweight title.
Now in full mount.
Askren in full mount. getting this title shot by virtue of winning Bellator Season 2 welterweight tournament.
Looks like he's going for that arm triangle again, trying to get the elbow across Lyman Good's face.
Good, the champion again, his first fight since June 12, 2009, when he won this vacant title by defeating Omar De La Cruz by first-round TKO.
And the problem with ring rust is it affects your timing. You're just a little bit behind.
Good, telling us in his fighter meeting that his left shoulder that he injured during training, wrestling training, ironically enough, Jimmy, based on this opponent back in December, is 100%.
And he can say it's 100%, but it's one of those things you don't know till you test it, and this is a real serious test.
There again, the full mount by Ben Askren.
You see how Ben Askren sits up, throws a couple punches. He doesn't go crazy with the ground and pound. You see here, a couple of hammer fists. He doesn't go wild with it. He'd rather have position.
Jimmy, you talk all the time about the hips. Look at the hips of Ben Askren.
They're so high. He doesn't even sit down that far. It's a unique style, funky Ben Askren. And when you talk to Dan Hornbuckle about his fight, he said, what went wrong in that fight? He goes, he's funky. He goes, he does things you don't expect. And he ironically picked Lyman Good for this fight, but so far going the way of Ben Askren. And you see in Lyman Good's face, it's almost like, well, I'm not really getting hurt. He's not doing a whole lot, but I can't get out of here. It's a frustrating place to be. Lyman Good has to hip escape, turn on his side, push that knee off. Because hand fighting like he's doing now, pushing up, is not going to help him.
Good is trying the shrimp, trying to move.
When you look at these guys physically, Lyman Good looks so much stronger than Ben Askren, but in this grappling situation, you see here, grabbing the right wrist of Lyman Good, that's where Ben Askren is strong. He has grappler strength, his grip is iron.
Ben Askren has told me previously, I'm not weightlifter strong, he said, but I can grip and hold for hours and hours.
Hours on end, and people were talking to me about shape. I talked to a lot of fans about this fight, and they said, how's Ben Askren going to handle 25 minutes? And I said, this guy could wake up out of a 2-year coma and wrestle for 3 hours. That's what he does. He could do it in his sleep. As long as this fight stays in grappling mode, don't think Ben Askren's going to run out of gas, because I don't think he will.
Good again, trying to throw from the bottom. Askren trying to throw from the top. Askren again, there's sticky, chest to chest, now raising up.
There's no such thing as in shape. When someone says I'm in shape, what kind of shape? Grappling shape, striking shape, MMA shape. Some people are in great shape, can't run a marathon. A marathon runner can't do MMA. They're different, and he's in grappling shape. He can grapple forever.
Good, continuing to try to throw those hammer fists with both the left and the right hand from the bottom.
I think he needs to focus a little bit more on getting out, shrimping his hip, pushing on the knee of Ben Askren, rather than playing this hand fighting game, trying to hit back. He's not going to land anything of substance. And
9 seconds of round 2.
And he's not doing a great job with the ground and pound. I think he needs to move a lot more.
We are headed to round 3. Ben Askren's wife, Amy, must be feeling pretty good about things thus far, at least through the opening 2 rounds.
She told me I always get nervous until Ben gets the takedown. Then I relax, then I'm okay.
I guess she can relax right now. Immediate takedown to start round number 3 for Ben Askren. Again, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. This for Bellator's World Welterweight Championship. Ben Askren is in the black trunks with the gold trim. The champion, Lyman Good, in the black trunks.
We saw against Dan Hornbuckle. Dan Hornbuckle, in the interview before the fight with Ben Askren, he said, I'm going to stop Askren's takedown for 2 minutes, and that's going to break his spirit. He couldn't stop it for 20 seconds, and I think that broke Dan Hornbuckle's spirit. It's one of those things where the guy comes out and he takes you down right away. It's very disheartening. See here with that beautiful pass staying tight on the hips, but his hips, Ben Askren's hips are so high. That's not a jiu-jitsu thing. Askren, I gave him the first 2 rounds. I have it 20-18 for Ben Askren, who transitions to the mount yet once again.
Askren just gets to the mount effortlessly.
He just steps over the legs. His balance is so good, he doesn't need his hips underneath him that far to get the mount. It's a strange transition, but it works.
Askren in the top position from the mount does not take a lot of chances.
He doesn't take a lot of chances. He doesn't do a ton of damage, but he stays busy, he stays active, and he's so hard to get off you.
And it's not a criticism by me because he is holding that dominant position.
He certainly is. You know, it's good to have a good idea of your strengths in MMA. It's also a good idea to have an idea of your weaknesses. And Ben Askren's one of those guys who understands what he's good at. You see, he's going for a couple arm triangles, a couple submissions. He's not great with them. He hasn't gotten close to getting them, but his positioning is very good.
Coming up after this fight, a Bellator super fight in the lightweight division. Roger Huerta, the only MMA fighter to grace the cover of Sports Illustrated, versus Bellator's lightweight champion of the world, Eddie Alvarez. This round number 3 of the Bellator World Welterweight Championship bout.
He's holding mount a lot better than he did, for example, against Ryan Thomas in his second fight with Ryan Thomas. And I think he's done better with his training when it comes to getting the mount position and holding it. He's doing way better than he has in his previous fights. This is a guy who has improved a lot.
Good, again, those hammer fists from the bottom, but you could be George Foreman. How can you really get any sort of punching power from flat on your back?
Yeah, we did a fight between Josh Barnett and Gilbert Ivel, where Gilbert Ivel was punching up from the mount and was just getting creamed. It's, you know, it's just not effective. You got to get out of that position. That's your goal on the bottom. Nothing you're going to land from your back is going to have any juice on it.
Right hands by Askren not getting through.
I mean, Askren doesn't give you a lot of, it's almost like he doesn't give you a lot of motivation to get out. His ground and pound isn't great. These punches wouldn't, you know, smash a brick or anything, but it's hard to get out. So Lyman doesn't have almost that urgency he might have against a better ground and pound guy. I don't know how else to explain it. But Ben Askren just sticky. He's just so hard to get off you once he's on.
Good, throwing the up hammer fist with the left and reverse hammer fist with the right. Call for action from referee Kevin Mulhall.
Once again, trying to lock up that arm triangle. The arm triangle is a very safe submission from the mount. You can go for it and not lose any positions like you would for, let's say, for an arm bar, for example. So it's a very safe submission. You don't get it, you just go back to the mount. That's why Askren keeps going for it over and over, is because he can keep position with it.
Askren starting to throw a few more elbows from the top position in this round. Very short elbows.
That's an important weapon, is the elbows. He hasn't been able to use them in the tournament. Now he can use them.
Almost on cue, Askren throwing elbows again.
I'm sorry, in the first 2 rounds of the tournament. He could do it in the finals.
Mouse under the left eye of Lyman Good. Looks to just about be popping.
Well, that gives Askren something to focus on. That's really important when you're not a super hard puncher, to have something like a bruise or a cut to work on. Gives you a target, gives you something you can open up and do damage, considering he's not throwing really hard punches. Of course, I'm not getting hit by them, so I'm calling them not hard, but I'm not the one underneath getting hit.
Few boos starting to come from the Philadelphia crowd here at the Liacouras Center on the campus of Temple University. Askren undeterred by those boos because he is holding a dominant top position, and we are headed to round number 4. Between rounds, Jimmy, Lyman Good's corner asking him if he wanted to stop.
I think something might be wrong. I'm trying to get confirmation, but I think he said, I can't throw my left. That's the shoulder that was injured before. Not sure about that. I couldn't really hear it, but I think that's what he said. But there's obviously something wrong with his corner's asking if he needs to stop.
Round number 4. Again, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Lyman Good, the champion. The inaugural defense, which he is trying to make successful, of his Bellator World title at 170 pounds versus 2008 U.S. Olympian in freestyle wrestling Ben Askren. Askren in the black trunks with the gold trim, Good in the black trunks. Good uppercut, then a straight right hand by Good.
Askren just tenacious with that takedown. He doesn't even think defense in terms of standing up. He thinks, how am I going to take this guy down?
A bad mouse under the eye, the left eye of Lyman Good. Looks like it wants to pop, but it hasn't done so just yet.
You know, Okay, we just got confirmation that he said, I can't see out of my left eye. It's not the left shoulder bothering him, it's his left eye. I believe that's the one with the mouse under it, but it's affecting his vision. He cannot see out of his left eye.
Jimmy, how do you have this scored?
3 rounds to none for Ben Askren, 10-9. He's just been positionally dominant.
Can you see any way that any of the 3 state of Pennsylvania judges would disagree from that 30-27 score?
Maybe round 1. You could maybe give round 1 to Lyman Good. I know some fans have, but I give all those 3 rounds to Ben Askren. But round 1 is the only one I could see going the other way.
Again, cool as you like, Ben Askren back in full mount.
You know, we've seen it over and over. Cole Conrad, Joe Warren, their opponents told us in the interviews, I've been training with great wrestlers. Well, I don't know very many Olympians, and it's hard to find a guy, even an Olympian, say you found one that wrestles like Ben Askren. He's funky, he is unorthodox, he does weird stuff. Go to Russia, get Saitiv, okay, maybe you bring him in and that'll help. But they're just hard to find, guys on this level, they don't grow on trees.
Askren trying to let go with the right hand.
That
stand-up
is
order.
Shocking.
Ben Askren giving a long look to referee Kevin Mulhall for that decision.
Wow, you almost never see a stand-up from a dominant position like mount. And Askren is working. He's not doing a lot of damage, but he's working, he's punching. I don't know if I agree with that stand-up.
Askren coming forward. Good with the right to the body. Askren forward again. Sprawl by Lyman Good.
It's his transitions that are so dangerous. It looks like he's not going for the takedown, but he is, no matter what he does.
Good allowing Ben Askren to stand. Askren went for the inside trip, couldn't find it. Good allowing Ben Askren to stand sends a big message, Jimmy, that he's had enough of the ground game.
Now, another thing, too, is that Lyman Good's inability to see out of his left eye, he can't judge distance. If he truly can't see out of his left eye, it's very hard for him to judge distance when they're on the feet. Now, look at that. The arms of Ben Askren, his arms are totally extended. He's still pulling up and going for the takedown. And he gets it.
Single leg takedown. That's world-class wrestling right there.
9 times out of 10, you get a wrestler that extended, the takedown is not going to work. Ben Askren sucks it up and gets it again.
That little sequence, truly, Jimmy, no hyperbole, that was world-class.
Completely. Look, he steps over to mount over the knee of Lyman Good. Doesn't care about the knee at all. He's almost daring Lyman Good to push him off of him.
Askren right to the body. Get a look at the left eye of Lyman Good that's causing him all sorts of vision problems. How much on those right hands to the rib cage by Askren.
Crowd now getting on him, but 15 seconds left. I think this is another round in the books for Ben Askren, and that eye is really bothering Lyman Good.
Closing seconds of round 4, and we will go to a 5th and final round.
We see that takedown. Funky Ben Askren splayed out. Great sprawl by Lyman Good. It made no difference. He goes in, single leg takedown, dominates the end of the round again.
The 5th and final round of this Bellator World Welterweight title fight. Ben Askren is in the black trunks with the gold trim. The champion, Lyman Good, is in the black trunks. Jimmy, how do you have this scored?
4 rounds to none. Ben Askren, 40-36. I think for Lyman Good, for the sake of his title, it's knockout or nothing.
Askren taking a few backward steps. Nice jab with the left hand by Good.
Good left hook. But he needs to follow up with that right hand. He's got to put Askren away.
Neither fighter had ever been beyond 3 rounds entering this fight.
Lyman Good letting him up. Well, that shows a lot of respect for Ben Askren's jiu-jitsu, that he didn't want to get on top and ground and pound.
Both fighters, when I asked them, who do you think will be fresher in the 5th round, of course said, no, I'll be the fresher fighter. But Jimmy, you clearly think that even going in, it would be Askren.
Well, just because the fight has been in his realm the entire time, although Lyman does look very good. Now, look at this sprawl. Beautiful hips all the way down. And it's not enough once again. I mean, that sprawl 9 times out of 10, that's going to stop you.
Again, coming up after this fight, a Bellator super fight in the lightweight division. UFC veteran Roger Huerta versus Bellator's reigning 155-pound world champion, Philadelphia's own Eddie Alvarez. And we are here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Liacouras Center on the campus of Temple University.
Lyman Good back to full guard. You see the crowd just going crazy when Lyman Good was on the feet, and as soon as Askren takes him down, they go silent.
Good tried to somersault his way out of that. Askren just too quick. Askren pounces.
He certainly does. He knows when to put his weight on you. And with his balance and with his timing, he can take stupid, almost stupid chances when it comes to jiu-jitsu. Keeps his hips way up. His balance is so good, it doesn't matter.
Jimmy, never in this sport have I seen a fighter lead with their head on the ground the way Ben Askren does.
He loves it.
You hear fighters talking about posting all the time with their head, but this is a clinic on posting.
You see here his guard pass, he makes a lot of technical mistakes with his guard pass, but he's tenacious. He goes for it over and over and over again. Next thing you know, you look up, the round is over.
Ben Askren spent a week training with Jake Shields, former Strikeforce welterweight champion, now of course in the UFC in preparation for this fight. That would be interesting.
That certainly would be.
Askren said that Shields really refined a lot of points on the ground for him.
Well, Jake Shields has phenomenal jiu-jitsu. I've competed against him. He's great on the ground. His wrestling isn't on Ben Askren's level, but Ben Askren's jiu-jitsu isn't on his level, so they'd be good training partners.
Good still stuck on his back. Trying to roll, trying to posture to his hip, finding no joy.
That's what also makes Askren so good.
Big up kick! Askren was caught!
I think he's in trouble. That one hurt. Can he keep his wits about him? In the triangle, it is tight. Going for the arm, but I think he wants to stick with the triangle. I think going to the arm is a bad idea. He needs to pull on the head and commit to this triangle. I think it's too loose, he's out.
Good looking for the miraculous come from behind finish and could not find it there.
He made the mistake a lot of guys make. They switch to the arm when you have the triangle. It looked deep enough to me, but he went to the armbar, and here's Ben Askren in mount again.
Right back in full mount. Caught with the up kick, caught in the triangle. Undeterred, back in full mount. 25th and final minute of this title fight.
The crowd raining down boos. This is a very pro-Lyman Good crowd. Lyman Good said in his, you saw it on the screen, there is nothing championship about Ben Askren. Well, his wrestling is definitely championship.
Not often in athletic competition of any kind is a New Yorker cheered in Philadelphia, but that's the case for Lyman Good.
Very true, very true.
In fairness, a lot of his New York-based supporters drove in for this fight.
Made the trip.
Call for action from referee Kevin Mulhall.
And Askren saying with 10 seconds, I don't have to work at all. Throw a few punches. This round, this fight is over. And if the judges agree with me, it's Askren's fight.
The bell, the end of the fight.
Great performance by Ben Askren. He wrestled his way to victory. In my opinion, we'll have to see if the judges agree.
When we return, we will learn the winner. Will Ben Askren be Bellator's new world champion at 170 pounds? This Bellator World Welterweight Championship fight has gone the distance. All 5 rounds, all 25 minutes. Ben Askren versus the champion Lyman Good.
And it was the takedowns of Ben Askren. Those were the theme of the fight. You see them here. Beautiful body lock takedown, head and arm throw. Double legs, single legs, every takedown under the sun. It seemed like Lyman Good could just never get his rhythm on his feet because every time he set, Ben Askren was there to take him down, doing what he does best. Now this up kick bang. You see it here. I think Askren was rocked. You see it here. Lyman Good tried hard for the triangle finish, but it was not to be. Got out and passed the guard. Ben Askren ending as dominantly as he started in the full mount. I got to give this one 50-45 to Ben Askren. I gave him every round. We'll have to see if the judges agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision, we'll go to your judges' scorecards. Judge Wilfredo Cintrone scores about 49-46. Judge Cardo Urso scores about 48-47. Your third and final judge, Brent Koflet, scores the fight 50-45. All for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new Bellator World Welterweight Champion, Ben Askren.
I'm here with your new welterweight champion, Ben Askren. Ben, 5 rounds. Guess you're not going to summer home in Philadelphia, but 5 rounds, a very tough fight. But seems like your takedown was working from start to finish. Was it working that well at the end as well?
All I can think right now is those people that joke me for looking like the guy from the Goonies. I look like him right now. Oh, man.
I was going to wonder if you broke your nose. It always looks like that, man.
Oh, it's always ugly, but it ain't this damn ugly. Lyman did some damage.
Now, that up kick at the end, the up kick triangle combination, were you hurt? Do you remember that exchange at all?
The up kick didn't hurt very much. I just kept working past the guard, and the triangle was pretty close.
Triangle was close. Now, all these guys, a very stacked division. Talk us through the end of that fight with the up kick. Now, you said you were with it, but it was a triangle that was tough.
But he slipped in that triangle armbar real smooth. I just had to keep on fighting.
Now, a whole division of guys are getting in line to take your title. It's stacked as it was last season. What's your message to those guys?
Come and get me. I'm right here. You know I ain't gonna quit.
Now, I'm here with you, with Bellator President and CEO Bjorn Rebney. Bjorn, he's been dominant from start to finish with his wrestling. Nothing changed against Lyman Good.
Spectacular performance, Ben Askren. Dominant. You said you were going to win our world title, and you did. Great work, brother.
Now, you are what Bellator is all about, a prospect that ends up a champion. Tell me what it's like now to have the gold around your waist.
It feels great. And Bellator builds warriors, and even those that hate me in the audience are probably going to at least admit I'm a freaking warrior.
They will. Your new champion, Ben Askren, ladies and gentlemen.
Elation from Amy Askren as her husband wins his first title in MMA. With that victory, Ben Askren becomes the new Bellator World Welterweight Champion and improves his pro mixed martial arts record to a perfect 7-0. The next man to fight Ben Askren for the title will be the winner of Bellator's Season 4 welterweight tournament, set to begin in 2000.